Hey friends, welcome back to the channel, and today in this video we are going to create AI art generator with the help of OpenAI. We will be using React.js, Node.js as our front-end and back-end languages. So if you are new here, hi, my name is Divasa Jumal. I am a final year engineering student at Indian Institute of Information Technology, Vadodara, and on this channel I create videos related to web development, tutorials, tips and tricks, and a little bit of freelancing. If you like this kind of topics, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you haven't watched my previous videos on how to create a chatbot for WhatsApp, for Discord, and for in general case also with the help of Node.js, I will include the link in the description. You can watch those also. And now let's move on to our video. So first of all, we will open the terminal and new terminal, and we will create a new folder. We will call it AI art generator and click on enter. Change your directory to AI art generator and initialize the npm and open the new terminal and open your project in the VS Code. Now install some of the dependencies. So npm install OpenAI, body parser, chords, and Express. As you can see here in the package.json, these are the 4 dependencies which we will be having in our project. And create a new index.js file. Inside the index.js file, const express equals to require express. We will first of all get access to some of the required packages. So express equals to require express, chords equals to require chords, body parser is equals to require body parser. So we are currently creating the backend of our application. Later on we will create the front end of our application. Now const configuration is the method, and OpenAI API equals to require OpenAI. Now after that we will create a configuration object. So const configuration equals to new configuration, and create a object in which we will provide our API key process.env.secret key. So we will create this secret key later on. Currently I am just writing it here. Also we have to install .env package. We will just require it in our project. So require .env.config. So we will later on get this secret key. Oh, I mistakenly added the semicolon in here, so I will just remove it. Const OpenAI equals to new OpenAI API, and we will pass the configuration object which we got just above, and we will pass it here. Now we will set up our server. Const app equals to express, and app.use equals to body parser.json. Also app.use cors. Now app.post, so we will be posting to this endpoint. So app.post equals to /art, and it will be a async function. So rec-res const query, which we will get from request. So rec.body const completion equals to, we will call the OpenAI's method. So await OpenAI dot create image. So this function creates the image. So OpenAI dot create image, we will pass some of the parameters in here. So as the object, so prompt will be our query. Now n will be 1 and size of the image will be 1024 cross 1024. Okay, so it will be a string 1024 cross 1024, and we want only one image, so n equals to 1. Now after that we will response.send. So we will send the response as so we will send response.send completion data at index 0 dot url, and const port, we will define port as 8080 for our server to start, and app.listen on port, and the callback function after the port has successfully started. So we will say console log, we will console log. So now let's test it. So node index.js. Okay, we have some error, new OpenAI API. Okay, error is in line 12, OpenAI API. So we have to type open. Okay, so we have to type this I as capital, and I think now it should work. Okay, there is some error. Okay, so we also have to change it here also. So OpenAI API. Now it should work. Server started on port 8080. Yes, it is working. So our backend is complete now. So now let's create our front end. So type npx create react app and give a name to your project. So I have given AI art front end. First of all, we will clean up the project. We will delete some of the files in here. So select these extra files which we don't require. After that, we are just left with 3 files. Remove some of the unnecessary code from here which we don't need. Now go to app.js and remove the full header section, and we will be left with this code. Remove app.css and logo.svg also from the top. Inside index.css, okay, we don't need to change anything there. Let's check if it is working. So we will print h1 as react.js AI front end, and now let's test this application whether everything is working till now fine or not. Open a terminal and type npm start. Okay, so our front end has started and we are getting react.js AI front end. So that means we don't have any error. So let's rename it to AI art generator. And we also have to install one dependency here. So npm install axios and import axios from axios. Import useState from React. Now we will use some hooks. So const query and set query equals to useState. Initial value will be empty. Response and set response. So this will be for our image, which will be useState, which will be currently empty string. Now we also want a loading state. So const loading, set loading, and the initial value will be false. So useState false. Okay, so we will only render the loading state whenever loading is true. So if loading is true, then we will show h2 and we will say generating images dot dot dot. Please wait. If it is not loading, then we will just not print anything. After that, let's create a div and give it a class name of box. Let's create an input to get the query from the user. So input class name, we will give it text input, enter text. On change, we will call a function and we'll pass event, and we will say set, and we will pass e.target.value. After that, we will need a button for a user to enter and send the post request. So button will say generate image, class name as button. On click, we will call generate image function. Okay, so we need to have it inside the form. So just create a new form and put both these lines inside the form. Okay, so we will remove the class name and on click from the button as we don't require it now, and we will type of button will be submit. And when the form gets submitted, so on submit, we will call handle submit function. So we have to create this function. So we will say const handle submit equals to the event, and first of all we will prevent the default actions. So e.prevent default, and then we will have a axios post request to https colon slash slash localhost 8080, that is where our backend server is running. So https slash art, and we will pass query to the post. After getting the response, we will call then, and we have got the response. So res set response as res.data, so that will be a URL, and if we have some error, then we will catch the error as err, and we will just console log it. Down here after the form, we will have response dot length. So if the length of response is greater than 0, that means we have some image. So image URL, so we will just create a image. We will give it a class name of result image, and the source will be, actually it should not be a string, okay, and the source will be result. After that we have alt, so we will include alt as generated image. If we don't have any response, that is that if we don't have any URL, then we will not show anything. Let's enclose these inside a div. Oh, sorry, it was not result, it was response only. So the source of our image will be the response, which is actually a URL. Now we also want to have a loading state. So before uh, calling the before posting the request, we will set loading as true, and after completing the request, we will set loading to false. And we will also have this as a controlled value. So value will be query. Okay, so it is saying that we don't need to include image as our string. So we will remove it, but it is not looking correct, so we will add in generated images. It will not complain. Okay, so we will create a .env file in here, and we will have a secret key. So secret key equals to a string. So we will go to openai.com and click on API. I will have to log in, so log in or sign up if you don't have an account, and continue. Put the password, continue. After that, go to top right and click on view API keys. Now create a new API key. Copy the API key, paste the API key in here, and now go to index.js. Now let's check if it is working. So let's type man and wait for it to load. Okay, we got some error. Okay, now let's check again. Superman cartoon. Hopefully it will get us the image. We will have to wait, but I can see our set loading state is not working correctly because we are not getting that text of loading. But yeah, we got the image and Iron Man cartoon. Let's try this. Okay, we got the image, and this looks very ugly. What is this AI? So our front end is still remaining, but our back end is working correctly, and we will have to make it look nice, make this application look nice. So we will have our front end uh, styling now. So this is the Hulk, very ugly. What happened to his nose? Okay, so we have to get the CSS, so app.css, and we will create a new file. Okay, sorry, the location is app.css, and we will create a new file, app.css, to include some of the CSS and make our application look good. So we will have app as display flex and flex direction column, align item center, and the class name is dot capital A app. Now let's check. Okay, it is in the middle. Okay, as we wanted. Now let's add some more CSS. So dot text input. Height will be 50 pixels. Margin bottom will be 20 pixels. Border radius will be 5 pixels. Okay, height is too big, so we will reduce it to half to 25 pixels. Okay, so it looks good. Now enter text. We will enter man on the moon. Let's see what it generates. Okay, it has started generating, but still our loading text is not visible. We will make it work. Wait. This looks like man is not on moon. Man is on some other planet, and moon is in front of him, and he is some kind of alien. Okay, but our CSS is working, so let's add some more CSS. Let's make it to 500, 512 pixels and 512 pixels. Let's also add some styling to the button. So width of button will be 200 pixels and height of the button will be 25 pixels, or let's make it to 20 pixels. So we will add background color as linear gradient 90 degree, and these are the colors inside index.css for the whole body. And we want our h1 h2 to have a color of white. Oh sorry, it should be h1 comma h2, and we for h1 h2 we will give color of white. And some Hulk generating image, please wait. Okay, we are getting that text. At the end I will show you all the changes which I have done, all the code I will show. Okay, this doesn't look handsome though, so you can make the changes accordingly if something is not working for you. Let's check for black widow. So I will show you all the code now. So this is our app.css. You can see if you have any changes or if your code is not working, you can just check it out here. Compare your code with mine. App.js. So here I have just added async and await at line 11 and 14. So make sure you also add that. That's why our set loading was not working. And all of the code is almost same. Here is index.css. Make sure you add this line in here for background color. And no changes in index.js except for the initial one. And yeah, this looks cool. Handsome Spider-Man cartoon. Although it has 3 legs, I don't know how. And this is our backend. So you can check backend also now if there is some error with your backend. So prompt query n equals to 1, size is 512 cross 512. These are all the dependencies which we are using, and make sure you also have a key in your .env file. Okay, I hope you like this video and you learned something new on how to create a image generator bot with the help of OpenAI API. And if you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos related to web development, tutorials, tips and tricks, and some little bit of freelancing also. I will see you guys in the next video. Also, if you haven't watched my previous videos on how to create a chatbot for WhatsApp, for Discord, and for in general case also with the help of Node.js, I will include the link in the description. You can watch those also. Okay, bye bye.